She was supposed to stay retired. Then she found the one file Pam Bondi never wanted the world to see. What she uncovered could blow the lid off a government op so deep, even the CIA backed off. Power, lies, surveillance, and one badass woman who said, "Screw the system." You seriously won't believe who shows up at the end. Stick around. This gets wild. Watch till the very end. Chapter 1. She was done, until one word pulled her back. Rena Moore hadn't touched a classified file in over a year. She'd traded her badge for a desk, the gun for a plant, and DC's chaos for quiet. People called it retirement. She called it self-preservation. After 20 years chasing smoke and fire through black ops and intel leaks, she was done. No more sleepless nights. No more dead drops. No more looking over her shoulder. But then the text came in. Just one word. Watch. She didn't recognize the number, but she knew the tone.
Tight. Urgent.
The kind of word that hits like a punch in the ribs. She clicked the link underneath. Fox News. Live interview. Laura Ingraham. Pam Bondi. Yeah, there's a reason why their ratings are plummeting, Bondi was saying, a smirk playing on her lips. We could care less what they say. We're going to continue forward on all of these cases. Ingraham leaned in. So, this whole Signalgate mess? You're telling me there's absolutely nothing there? We are confident of that. All of our intelligence officials who were on it are confident of that as well. Rena froze.
Her throat went dry.
Bondi was lying, bold-faced and ice-cold. Because Rena was there back when Signalgate was just a whispered maybe in a hallway no one should have been in. Jesus, she muttered, reaching for the remote. But she didn't change the channel. She leaned forward, watching the screen like it owed her answers.
Her phone buzzed again.
Still think you're out? She cursed under her breath and stood. Her hands were shaking just slightly. A muscle memory. The calm before the storm. She walked to the closet, pulled out the locked case. She swore she'd never touch again. You've got to be king kidding me, she said, flicking it open. Inside, her badge, her burner, and a thumb drive with no label. She didn't even remember putting it there. But it was waiting. And now so was she. Because Rena Moore wasn't out anymore. She was in. All the way in. Chapter 2. They told her to let it go, so she dug deeper. Rena hadn't slept. Couldn't. The second that clip ended, her brain lit up like a damn switchboard. Pam Bondi didn't just brush off Signalgate, she buried it. Which meant one thing, there was something under there worth hiding. By 6 a.m., Rena was already running through her old channels. The kind of people who didn't show up in search results. First call, Langston, her old tech guy at DOJ. You're awake early, he said, voice groggy. I never slept. I need access logs. DOJ. Internal. Project Signal. Last 6 months. A pause. Then a low whistle. Rena. That project's a black hole. You reach into that, it bites back. That's why I'm asking you. Langston sighed. You didn't hear? 2 guys on that team got reassigned to some outpost in freaking Guam. One's gone off the grid entirely. Disappeared. Or made to disappear. She felt her stomach twist. Can you pull the logs or not? I'll see what I can do. But if anyone asks, we haven't spoken since '09.
Click.
Next stop, her mentor, Grace Daly. Used to run intel compliance. Now lived on a boat in Annapolis, officially retired. Rena found her on deck, coffee in hand, wind in her gray curls. Grace didn't even look surprised. You're poking that hornet's nest? I didn't start this.
No.
But you're gonna finish it, aren't you? I need to know what Bondi's sitting on. Grace gave her that look, half warning, half proud. Then you need to find Jensen. He was the analyst on Signal until he cracked. Cracked how? Paranoid. Said someone was listening in on internal DOJ comms. Real spooked. Rena felt the heat rise in her chest. Where is he? Off the grid. Changed his name. But I've got a lead. Grace reached into a drawer and pulled out a stained napkin with a location scrawled in red ink. Rena raised an eyebrow. Seriously? Grace shrugged. Old habits die hard. Rena tucked it into her coat. I'm not letting this go, Grace. Grace stared hard at her. Then you'd better figure out who's still listening before they hear you coming. And just like that, the chase was on. Chapter 3. The Analyst Who Knew Too Much. The address on the napkin led Rena to a beat-up motel off Route 29. The kind of place where curtains stayed shut and no one used real names. She parked 3 blocks away and walked in with a hoodie up and a burner phone in her pocket. Room 207. She knocked. Twice soft, once sharp. Just like the old code. Nothing. She was about to knock again, when the door cracked open 2 inches. A bloodshot eye peered through the gap. "Jensen," she said, keeping her voice low. "It's Rena Moore." The door didn't budge. "I'm not here to burn you. I need to know what you saw." A beat. Then the door opened, just wide enough. Jensen looked like hell. Thin, jumpy, unshaven. There was duct tape over the smoke detector and a towel jammed under the door. His laptop was open on the bed, camera taped, VPN bouncing across 5 continents. "They're still watching me," he muttered, pacing. "Even here." "I don't doubt it. You should. You should doubt everything. Talk to me about Project Signal." Jensen stopped. His eyes darted to the window, then back to her. "You think Bondi killed it?" "She didn't. She moved it." "Moved it where?" "To a private shell op-off books. Funded through an infrastructure grant. They're still running it, scraping communications inside the government. Cabinet members. Judiciary. Hell, even other DOJ heads." Rena's blood chilled. Why? Control. Leverage. Insurance. Pick your poison. He handed her a flash drive wrapped in a gum wrapper. "That's metadata. Just headers, nothing deep. But you'll see who was targeted. And when." She took it, slipping it into her coat. "Why are you giving this to me?" He laughed bitterly. "Because they already know I talked. I'm just waiting for the knock." Rena opened her mouth to answer, but the power in the motel flickered. Then the lights cut. Jensen froze. "That's them." "Go." Rena barked. She shoved him toward the bathroom window, grabbed the laptop, and bolted into the dark. Tires screeched outside. Whoever they were already here. And now they knew Rena was too. Chapter 4. They torched the truth, but she was one step ahead. Rena didn't stop running until the motel was a smear in her rear view. Her hands were shaking, adrenaline boiling in her veins. She didn't even know if Jensen made it out. The last thing she saw was a black SUV turning the corner as she peeled off. She pulled into a gas station off a dead highway, parked behind the building, and popped the laptop. Fans whirred to life. The screen blinked. Nothing. Black. Then green code flickered across like ghost signals. She plugged in Jensen's drive. And just like that, names. Dozens. Senators. Judges. A White House advisor. All tagged. All watched. It wasn't just surveillance. This was leverage. Blackmail files wrapped in patriotism. Rena stared, jaw tight. "They're not just spying," she muttered. "They're stacking bodies." Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "You should have stayed retired," a voice growled. Then silence. She crushed the burner under her boot. By noon, she was outside an old server farm Jensen had marked on a napkin, middle of nowhere, fenced in, cameras at every corner. It looked abandoned, but the hum said otherwise. She broke in through a busted back panel. Inside, racks of servers, still warm, still active. But the moment she stepped deeper, the floor vibrated. Soft boom. A second later, the power surged, then snapped. Shit. The place was rigged. Smoke curled from the walls. Sparks flew. Rena sprinted out the way she came as the whole back half of the building lit up behind her. Someone knew she'd come. Someone wanted it gone. She hit the ground hard as the shockwave punched out the sidewall. Coughing, eyes watering, she rolled to her feet. No one was supposed to know about that place. But they knew. She looked down. Somehow, her pocket was still zipped. The flash drive? Still there. The building burned. The data melted. But the truth? Still breathing. And now they'd know she wasn't bluffing. Chapter 5. She found the files, then everything went to hell. The DC safe house was supposed to be off-grid. Old CIA ghost spot.
No cameras.
No trail. Rena hadn't used it in years, but muscle memory kicked in like she'd never left. Metal door. 3 locks. Silence inside. She threw the bolt, dropped the laptop on the desk, and booted it with shaking fingers. The flash drive was still intact. Jensen wasn't bluffing. This was the tip of something way bigger than she'd thought. Headers, timestamps, flagged terms. One folder buried deep. Sovereign eyes only. Password protected. She stared at it. Tried 3 guesses. Locked out. Then a message popped. Nice try. We see you. She yanked the drive. God damn it. That wasn't just encrypted. It was watched. Her burner buzzed again. This time a picture.
Blurry.
Grainy. But it was her. From an hour ago. Outside the server farm. Someone had eyes on her every step. Then the real gut punch came. A second photo. Jensen. Face down. Not moving. Rena's breath caught in her throat.
No caption.
None needed. They got to him. She slammed her fist into the desk. He gave me the truth, and they gave him a body bag. She opened her old go bag, pulled out the last contact she swore she'd never use, Noah Reyes. Former NSA, full-time ghost, one of the smartest bastards she'd ever met. She hit send on a message. I need you. Sovereign eyes. I've got files. And someone's bleeding for them. 3 dots. Then, if you're texting me, it's already bad. Send coordinates. I'm in. Rena wiped her face with her sleeve. Her hands were still shaking, but now it wasn't fear. It was rage. They thought they shut her up with a photo. They just lit the fuse. Chapter 6. The ghost who knows too much, and he's coming for you. Rena didn't wait for the knock. She was already half-packed when the message came through. Coordinates received. I'm close. Noah Reyes was a shadow. A ghost. The kind of guy who could disappear into a crowd and never be seen again. But when he showed up, you felt it. The air got thicker. The room colder. The sound of a car engine rumbled outside. Rena glanced out the window, and there he was, parked in a dented black sedan, looking like he hadn't slept in days. Probably hadn't. He barely ever did. She opened the door before he knocked. You're late. Noah's lip twitched, but he didn't smile. You know how it is, had to dodge a couple of friends on the way here. You're lucky you're still breathing. She shoved the drive at him. I need this cracked. No time for games. He barely glanced at it, his fingers already working. If someone's tracking this, it's already too late. But I'll try. Try faster. Noah raised an eyebrow but didn't argue. The screen on his laptop blinked to life. Data started pouring in, but his face wasn't what she expected. It wasn't the familiar stoic mask of a guy who was used to dealing with dangerous shit. It was a look of genuine concern. Rena, this isn't just a bunch of leaked intel. It's, tell me what's on that drive, Noah. He rubbed his eyes, jaw tight. This isn't just surveillance. Whoever put this together, this isn't some rogue operation. This is sanctioned. And they didn't just target enemies of the state. They targeted everyone. Senators. Judges. Key military personnel. The files? The ones they have on Bondi? They were linked to higher-ups a lot higher. Rena's stomach turned. You're telling me the entire government is compromised? Noah paused. Not compromised. Controlled. This is a whole other level of power play. They've been using information against people in power for years. Whoever's behind this, they're untouchable. Rena slammed her hand on the table. I'm not backing down. This goes public. Today. Noah held up a hand. I get it. But if you push this too fast, they'll bury us both. I'm talking erased. Rena's eyes locked on his. Then let them try. Noah sighed, running a hand through his hair. You always were stubborn. All right. Let's burn this down. She nodded, reaching for her phone. Start with Bondi. She's the key. And if I'm wrong? Noah stared at the flashing files. Then we're all dead. So, let's make sure we're right. And that's when the door slammed open. Rena didn't even flinch. She was already 3 steps ahead.
Get the car ready, she said.
We're not finished yet. And as the sound of boots hit the stairs outside, she knew they were coming for them. Fast. They had to move, or they'd be the next ones buried under the weight of too many secrets. Chapter 7. The snare is set, and they're walking right into it. Rena's pulse was a drumbeat in her throat as she slid into the driver's seat of the black sedan. Noah was already in the passenger side, eyes scanning the street like a hawk. The car engine purred, but the tension felt thick enough to cut with a knife. We're being tracked, Noah said, voice low. If we go down this road, they'll know. We'll be marked. Then let's make sure they're too busy chasing ghosts to catch us. She slammed the car into gear and shot out of the alley. Her heart was pounding, but her mind was razor sharp. They had a window, maybe 20 minutes, before the wolves found their scent. Bondi's team would be mobilizing by now, and the heat they were bringing wouldn't be easy to outrun. They had to hit fast. You got the drop on Bondi's contacts? Rena asked. Noah nodded. We got a couple of leads from the files, but nothing concrete. All this backdoor comm stuff is messy. It's too clean for amateurs. You're telling me a government conspiracy is too clean? I'm telling you this is bigger than just her. The whole network runs on tech that even I'm not familiar with. Whoever's behind this, they're decades ahead of us. I don't give a damn how many decades ahead they are. Rena's hands tightened on the wheel. We're going in. Noah swore under his breath, but there was something in his eyes. Something dangerous.
Fine.
But don't say I didn't warn you. This is gonna get ugly. Rena turned off the main road and onto a winding street that led to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. It was isolated, just the way they needed it. The perfect place to burn some files, leave a trail, and let the people hunting them think they had it all figured out. She parked in the shadow of a rusted shipping container. The low hum of a generator buzzed in the distance, but there was no movement. Noah gave her a pointed look. You sure about this? This place? This whole damn setup? Tell me we've got no other options, Rena said, already sliding out of the car. Noah stayed in the passenger seat, eyes darting. I'll do the digital stuff. You're in charge of making sure we're not dead by morning. Rena didn't need to be told twice. She was already walking toward the warehouse door, her footsteps quick and purposeful. They weren't just leaving a trail, they were setting a trap. And she wasn't planning on being the one caught in it. She pulled out the flash drive and dropped it into a high-end burner. The screen flickered to life. You get the name yet? Rena asked, her voice steady. Noah's fingers flew over the keys, but his eyes were hard, unfocused. Not yet. And then the screen went black. Rena's heart skipped. The lights flickered above them. The door to the warehouse creaked open behind her. Someone was here. Rena's eyes narrowed. They were walking right into the snare, and it was time to pull the string. Let's finish this, she muttered, knowing full well the game had just changed. Chapter 8. The final play, and the betrayal they didn't see coming. Rena didn't flinch as the heavy door creaked open behind her. The cold air from the warehouse outside cut through the stale smell of dust and decay. She didn't have time to think about the chill. Her hand hovered over the gun holstered at her side. She was ready for a fight, but she needed one thing first. Answers. Noah's face was tight with tension, his fingers still flying over the keyboard, his eyes locked on the blank screen. Did you see that? Rena whispered, never turning around. Her voice was low, steady. Noah didn't answer. He just nodded. Then, finally, the screen flickered to life again, but this time there was a name that sent a shockwave through Rena's chest. Pamela Bondi. It wasn't just a name. It was a blueprint, a list. Bondi's entire operation laid bare. Dozens of politicians, operatives, military officers, all connected through a spider's web of surveillance. The files they'd uncovered were just a fraction of what the former AG had orchestrated. They had her on the inside. Noah muttered, barely audible. Rena's pulse quickened. What do you mean? They, whoever they are, were using her to route all the information. She was the gatekeeper. She set this up. All of it. She whipped around to face Noah. I knew it.
But why?
Why bring me into this? A low growl came from the doorway. Rena's instincts kicked in. She spun toward it, hand on the gun. And there he was. Agent Langston. His silhouette was framed by the dim light from the hallway. Rena's heart froze. Langston, she said slowly. You were the one. Langston's smirk was a little too wide. Did you think you were the only one who could play this game, Rena? Rena's eyes narrowed. You betrayed us?
No.
You betrayed me, Langston shot back, stepping fully into the warehouse. You had the nerve to think you were in control. You really didn't see it, did you? Noah's head snapped up. You were working for them? Langston laughed darkly, stepping closer. Working?
No.
I was running it. I was the one pulling the strings. Bondi was just the face. The rest of you were just pawns. The words hit Rena like a punch to the gut. She had walked into this trap, blind and stupid. Noah's fingers twitched, but Rena was faster. She pulled her gun and aimed it at Langston before he could take another step. I should have known.
But you played me.
Both of you did. Rena snarled. So this is it, huh? The end of the road. Langston didn't flinch. He just smiled. Not for me.
For you.
The sound of footsteps echoed behind her. Rena turned, her heart sinking. The trap had been set, but she wasn't the one caught in it. The warehouse door slammed shut, and the lights went out. The final betrayal. Who survived? Rena thought she had it all figured out. The pieces were falling into place, the trap was set, but the game was rigged from the start. Langston wasn't just a mole, he was the mastermind pulling the strings all along. And now, with the lights out and nowhere to run, Rena faces the ultimate choice: fight or disappear forever. The stakes have never been higher. As the walls close in, who will survive this final betrayal? Will Rena make it out alive, or is this the end of the line for everyone involved? You won't believe what happens next. Don't miss the next chapter. Hit that like button, subscribe, and smash the bell so you're the first to know what's coming next.